Hello, welcome to episode number 2 of Scam or Slam, basically our monthly series where we check out new crypto projects to determine if they're legit, worth your time and or worth your money and resources. Now, today we are going to look at something called ElementData.xyz, which is a project that basically was created by one of our community members and gives Awair Element owners, so people that bought this little device potentially because they wanted to earn planets on Planetwatch, a chance to earn IAQ tokens, so in-air quality tokens on the Algorand blockchain. Unlike Planetwatch, where originally you had that device, so you had your Awair Element sensor, and then it simply shared the data and you got the credits. For Element Data, you actually need to run an application, which I'm going to check real quick so I don't say anything wrong, is currently available on Windows, Linux, and Mac, which means you need a device that runs 24/7 to share the air quality data. And then as a result, depending on your data streams, you in the past directly got IAQ tokens. Now, as said, the project was created by one of our community members, and it actually was quite an impressive journey to watch him first take a course on React on Udemy to learn how he can set up the web page and so on. And then basically, by now I think, or at least according to his own claims, there are developers involved and so on, and to collect the data and so on. I'm not sure yet how we're going to split up this review of the project. I mean, we already have the first comment from John Revy even before the stream started that says 100% scam. It's so sad seeing people take advantage of bad situations. And I also have my personal opinion in quotes, but I'm going to try to stick here with the facts. So let's start off with some of the facts. And actually, some of the facts are IAQ is a real cryptocurrency token on the Algorand blockchain. So it's not like with many of the one-click-a-day apps that I cover on my channel or covered on my channel, that they are still in an early stage, might fail completely, and where what you get is just an in-app currency and no actual cryptocurrency or reward. So that's like one positive aspect. So it's a real cryptocurrency. That's definitely not bad. However, that also brings us already to the second requirement that any cryptocurrency has. There has to be demand for it. Episode 195 sucks is if you go to the channel and go to live and scroll back a little, or just enter in the YouTube search Scam or Slam episode 1. I think it's a very unique title. You should find the stream without a problem. Anyway, so what we need for a cryptocurrency to succeed is like buying pressure. So we need people that are willing to buy because there's a use case for it. Because if you get the rewards and you want to sell it, well, if there is nobody buying it, then the price plummets. Now, for that, I'm actually already going to share my screen and we're going to look at a few things. And again, I'm really doing my best here to provide an honest review. So let's check the price history on Tinyman. And we can see here that originally, so there were even price gaps, so where there was no price for the token, potentially because on that day there were no transaction happening. But it started out probably like in the cents area that we don't see here anymore, but eventually was trading at one IAQ being $1 and with an all-time high of $3.26. And if we look at the dates here, so that's like February 23, and then look at this video here, that should be 2 months ago. Okay, February 23, So basically this small YouTube channel covered the project in my opinion, I'm also sometimes guilty of that, to use clickbaity titles. I did not watch the video, so I'm not judging the content. I have no idea if he's saying, you have to jump into it or not. No idea, no clue, don't care. But basically this video is what started this spike here, and it got people to join the project. Now, why did that cause that spike? And that is because the project has different plans. So if we check out, where is it, rewards, the rewards tab on the website, then we see that they offer different plans. Originally, there was the default plan, the starter plan, and the premium plan. So the bond plan is something that came recently. We'll cover that and what it means and why it affects my opinion about the project in a second. But basically, originally you had the choice. I'm switching back to the camera for a second. So originally you had the choice to say, okay, I'm gonna have my Awair Element plugged in, and I'm gonna run the app that shares the data. And for example, I was also doing this originally because I had a PC that runs 24/7. The project was created by a community member, and at some point he even asked like for the macOS version if I could test it for him. So did that as well. However, originally I also didn't want to cover the project. It's not that he asked, so there, just to make it clear, I have never been asked, could you please cover the project or anything like that. I just didn't want to cover it on my own or from my own, because the project lacked a use case, so where a reason for people to buy the IAQ token. Now, originally, as said, you had your device, you plugged it in, and you could be on the default plan, which didn't cost you anything, and you earned IAQ tokens, yeah? Or option number 2, you pick the starter plan, which required you to pay 50 USDC, so the Coinbase stablecoin, to the wallet of the founder, and it would increase your earning rate. Yeah, I don't recall the exact earning rates from back then, doesn't really matter, but the point was making a 50 USDC payment to the founder got you more IAQ earnings, yeah? And then option number 3 was the premium plan, where originally you had to have, or you still have to have, 5 liquidity pool tokens, yeah? So while right now we'll actually switch back to the screen real quick, and we actually will quickly go on, does that link to Tinyman? Yep, that links to Tinyman. Not sure if we can simulate it if I don't have a wallet connected. Add liquidity. So, and if I say we add, I don't know, 100 Algorand, show more, then do we see, okay, pool token amount. So 200 Algorand, 400, okay, that would be too much, 350, 320. Yeah, so right now, roughly investing $100 in the project would get you in liquidity. So you would basically add 883 IAQ tokens and for 320 Algorand for a total of $111.82 or $111.26 would get you those 5 pool tokens, yeah? And that's an important part, because that was the premium plan, which back then gave you the highest rate, which again, you had to invest that money. At some point, it required $800 or $1,000 to get those 5 pool tokens, because the price of IAQ was also higher, as we saw here. Yeah. So after that video dropped by that smaller, or currently still smaller, YouTube channel, congratulations on putting in the effort to growing your audience and getting there. A lot of people jumped into the project, and because they did that, so because a lot, or not a lot, but some people decided to, okay, I'm going to add liquidity to get the 5 pool tokens to get the premium plan. That's what caused the price to jump up. Yeah. Because when you have no IAQ tokens and you add liquidity, you would technically add 640 Algorand, and it would sell half of them to get you the 883 right now, as of today, IAQ for liquidity. So that caused the price to go up. Yeah. Now, originally, so I'm fine with that. You know, again, I haven't watched the videos from the Dada channel, but just to see why the price went to $3 or $3.20 or something like that per IAQ, yeah? Now, that originally was fine, because every user had an option to use the device for free. So you plug it in, you run the software, hopefully you have a machine that already runs 24/7, and then with that, you earn your IAQ tokens, yeah? However, the whole thing, as we also see on the price, wasn't sustainable, because the moment people started selling their IAQ tokens, I also, for example, sold my IAQ tokens at $3.08 or so, so the ones that I earn on the free plan. The moment people start selling, you need more people that add liquidity, yeah? Now, I shared that on my Discord community, and since then, the founder of this project is not part of our Discord community anymore. Yeah, like, I'm not saying that it's a Ponzi scheme. Emogi P, thanks for subscribing. So I'm not saying that it's a Ponzi scheme, but at this point, it behaved like a Ponzi scheme, because the only way for you to make profit, so for the price to increase further, was that more money gets into the project than people are selling. Yeah. And with no use case for the token, so the data, or the air quality data, is not being sold. Even if it were, there wouldn't be any buyers. So the only people buying IAQ tokens were the people that had to buy if they wanted the premium plan. Yeah. At this point, however, everything's still fine. Why? Because it's your choice. You can say, oh, I believe the project will develop into something, and I'm going to risk the back then whatever, $50, $100, $500, $300, $1,000, whatever it required to get you the 5 liquidity pool tokens. But you also had the option to say, screw this, I'm either going for the 50 USDC payment, which goes to the founder directly to get higher earnings, or screw even this, I don't want to invest anything. I'm happy with earning only a fraction of the data by just plugging the device in, having the software run, and it shares my air quality data. Yeah, so far so good. However, obviously, all the people, or a reasonable big group of the people that bought in here, so all the people that bought in here, or a lot of people that bought in here, eventually started complaining, like, we need something that creates buy pressure, because they saw their investment drop in value hugely, and they saw that the number of signups dried up. Yeah. And so over time, announcements were made. There wasn't a single announcement as to we are working towards, I don't know, having a strategical partnership, finding a way to sell the air quality data. What changed is, and what we're looking at today. So today it's like this. If you join Element Data and you plug in your Awair Element sensor, you can earn at 0.0 IAQ for each sent data, and you can earn that until you reach a maximum of 3. However, you don't get them. You only get them if you are part of one of the other plans. Yeah. And the other plan, so there's a new plan, you see that requires a 25 USDC service fee. That in this case, this doesn't go to the founder, but the founder once per day actually then adds that to the liquidity pool. But still, it costs you 25 USDC to actually even then receive your free IAQ that are, as mentioned here, trial demo. Now you can see there are currently 1,265 accounts on the plan, mine, for example, included, because I'm not investing any money in that project. Why? Because there is no use case, there's no outline for a use case, and a few other things that, yeah, like for me personally, just don't add up right now. Yeah. Now, in addition to that, so other than the bond plan, there's still the option to pay the 50 USDC service fee, which also again goes to the founder. Now we get to a few important parts here in a second, and the liquidity token. So the project took away any way for you to actually earn or participate without investing. Yes, you could theoretically participate, and the app would tell you that you have a balance of 3 eventually, but then you would have to invest those 25 USDC or 50 USDC or the 5 liquidity tokens, or a combination of that. Yeah. And yeah, that's for me like a huge alarm sign, especially if we consider that there is no information as to, hey, we have partnerships in place or working on partnerships or any use case for the token, which, by the way, I'm going to quickly just look up a message. Where do I have it? Crypto for Data. So just to be clear, there. So there was another discussion about another project. Just 1 second. Where was that whole mess? There. Wallace. Yeah, so on our Discord, we recently, somebody brought up Element Data, and so I shared my opinion. So I'm going to share that here as well. By the way, you can find a link to the Discord server in the description down below. Yeah. So, and since the founder of the project on Discord is called The Main Man, was on the Discord, I obviously tagged him there, and I stated, and I'm gonna just read it the way it is. Yeah. While I love his contributions here in our Discord and really respect the effort he put into building and launching Element Data, I have yet to see any idea, outline, roadmap that would give the token a purpose/use case, explaining causing people to buy the token. And as a result, so far, the only one that benefits or that really benefits from the project is himself. With last I checked, more than 2,000. If we check as of today, we see it's actually 2,287 Discord. 50 USDC, not USDT, purchases for the Stata plan. Yeah, obviously also early adopters like myself that didn't invest and were able to sell the, in quotes, few IAQ earned at the all-time high of $3 also profited, but the gains I and other users in similar situations made are not really comparable to the more than 100,000 USDT collected from startup plan payments Element Data, or in this case, the founder actually raked in. I'm on purpose not covering the project because until there is something that at least shows there'll be a chance for creating buy pressure right now, I couldn't recommend the project, and would actually have to point out that it's right now very similar to a Ponzi scheme, because the only way for new investors to make money is if they get more new investors to join that buy IAQ. There is a new requirement, going to mention it in a second, making it almost a money from new investors is used to pay existing ones situation, which, by the way, money from new investors being used to pay existing investors is the definition of a Ponzi scheme. Yeah. So far, every vote announcement was basically just a way to, in quotes, force users to put more money into the project and buy IAQ to earn rewards, which also always is just a temporary measure. But I haven't lost hope, and I'm looking forward to a proposal announcement that covers potential use cases for the token that would create buy pressure. Now, as a result to my message here, the main man did not respond in our Discord community, but yeah, through a hissy fit, I should remove the trusted user role, blah, blah, blah. And eventually, because I said, no, I still trust him, and he can reply there. He didn't bother to, he just left the Discord community. Yeah. And yeah, so personally, I think not a single thing in the message that I wrote there is wrong. And sadly, nothing changed because, as mentioned, originally, you could sign up, you could plug in your Awair Element, you could earn some IAQ tokens, and even if the earning rate was low, you got crypto for just sharing your data, yeah? And it was up to you to decide, do I believe in the project or do I not believe in the project? And therefore invest a little bit of money or a little bit more money or not, yeah? Then that changed that, okay, there is no free plan anymore. If you're on the free plan, you don't get the crypto. You can at most reach free IAQ, but they are locked until you pay, and then they will be sent to your wallet. Then it changed again to say, hey, you now have to have a 250 IAQ minimum balance to actually receive your reward. So, I mean, that might not be much at currently 6 cents, so times 0.006, so that's $15. But again, so it's not only a requirement that you either pay the $25 service fee, the $50 service fee, or as of today, invest $110 to get the liquidity tokens. But it's also a requirement for you to have 250 IAQ per device. So if you have 2 Awair elements, or like I have 3 in total, then you would actually need 3 times that to get your rewards. And as said, so far, all the proposals that have been made have been about increasing the requirements and reducing the rewards that people receive, with not a single announcement that I've seen personally that would be okay. Again, we have something in the works that will give a use case. Yeah. In fact, from what I recall, I'm not sure if I will be able to find it. From what I recall, the project doesn't even plan to sell the data. So the air quality data would be supposed to be available for free. Which means they don't even have a chance to monetize that data, which means, yeah, there will be no use case, most likely, yeah. Now, what really bothers me, however, I'm going to look at the chat for a second. So, funny thing is, on that plan overview site, they don't mention the need of holding. You just mentioned it. I just mentioned it. I didn't see the message before, yeah. But that was a recent change, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago or so that the vote was, or maybe it was 3 weeks ago, yeah. Anyway, what really bothers me is, like, on their main page, the project says it's about monitoring air quality, blah, blah, blah. Most of the existing projects are for profit only, making the biggest profit for the investors, owners, and CEOs. The shareholders and investors are promised a bigger profit every year, making it very difficult to trickle down the same profits to device owners and workers in general. Our model will be very similar in nature to a non-profit organization. Transparency will be our main driving value, making it trustworthy for the device owners to join the Element Data project. The Element Data team will be naturally compensated for the work, and the rest of the profits, and that's important, the rest of the profits distributed to device owners and proportionally invested back into the project, making it possible to grow. The device owners will be rewarded for the data with cryptocurrency, blah, 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 and so on, yeah? Now, what it says here is it's a non-profit organization and that profits will be distributed back. Now, again, if we just take a look, where was it? Rewards. As of today, there is 2,287 people that each, wrong button, paid 50 USDC. So the project owner received a total of 114,350 USDC so far, just for people to get on the startup plan so that you receive more tokens. Out of that, maybe, like he's claiming that now there are developers involved and so on. But even if we would use a full-time salary for developers or so, I don't think that's, I would say like in the most favorable situation, 20,000, 30,000 of that was used to pay for development. And that, I mean, in the most expensive situation, and the rest is still in the pockets of the founder. Yeah. Now, the project talks about being about transparency, yet nobody knows the identity. Now, the IAQ token is verified with Para, if I'm not mistaken, which means they verified his identity, but he's not transparent about who he is and who the team is. Also not about how much of the money is used to go into the project and how the hell he plans to give anything back to the people that invested, because so far, none of that happened. Every proposal was require more money from the users to artificially, temporarily prop up the value a little bit. And like I think that was when they introduced the 250 IAQ requirement and the price recovered to 16 cents. And since then, it's again been steadily going down. Also, if we go to the liquidity pool, IAQ, but couldn't find anything, IAQ algo, we can also see the tendency. So there's like somebody's selling IAQ, selling IAQ, selling or buying IAQ, selling IAQ, selling IAQ, selling IAQ, selling IAQ, selling IAQ. So on that entire first page, I don't know how many entries we have there. 2 out of, 10, let's say it's 10 entries are selling and only 2 are buying. Selling, 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 selling. One of them adding liquidity. Selling, 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 selling. One of them adding liquidity, and so on. So, we've covered a lot of the basics. I still have yet to share the most, in quotes, condemning piece of evidence, because, I can. So a while back, after that video launched, so after that guy made his first video and eventually his second video claiming that the project, I don't know what he claims in the video, didn't watch the videos, but it has to be something good because it caused the price to go up to $3 per IAQ because a lot of people staked the liquidity pool. Now, after that, I actually also had a chat with the main man and actually drag over Discord, shared the screenshot with him. Crazy, because it was $74,000 or the trading volume in the liquidity pool increased to $86,000. So that's the 7-day volume, and $74,000 of that was just the last 24 hours. As you can see, I sent that on the 25th, so 2 days after the video released. He asked IQ, I say yes, and then he responds with this. So I don't even look at that anymore, but I know it's crazy. I mean, I don't look at it because I don't really care, trade with IAQ in any way. Pretty happy with the USDC income. Then I looked that up and said, okay, whoa, that's great. I think yesterday it was only, it only was 2,000, but it just keeps coming in. I moved that yesterday and put it on stake. And then we went on and I told him that he also should consider taxes and so on, blah, 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 where he said, that there is no tax, blah, 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 but that's not relevant. But make of that what you will. Here's the founder of Element Data basically saying, hey, I don't look at the trade volume, swap liquidity volume, because I made, like 2,000 alone yesterday. Well, by now he made 100,000 and has yet to announce a single piece of news that would actually give the project a purpose or a chance for IAQ to really achieve a value. The way it right now is, it's still as it was initially. The only way for users that are invested in earning the tokens to make money and sell is by attracting new users that invest money, that buy the token to basically counter the sell pressure. The way it looks right now, as we saw on the liquidity pool, where did we have it? That's not the case even remotely, because the majority of users, even though it's like small numbers, 31 AQ, 48, 96, blah, 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 are selling where only a fraction of users is adding liquidity or buying, so swapping their algo for IEQ. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say, to be honest. If you have an Awair element, like I said, I have 3 of them, so you probably got burned by Awair/Planetwatch. Yeah, we could argue about whose fault it is that whole thing turned out the way it did, and you're now looking for a way to make your money back. Completely understand that. Yeah. Personally, as I mentioned in the Discord chat and so on, I didn't want to cover element data initially because I really respect the effort that the main man put into setting up the website, setting up the tokens, everything, getting the token verified, setting up the software that collects the data and so on, setting up his Discord server. So really, really respect that entrepreneurial spirit there, but there was no use case for it. So I didn't want to make a video like today's video. Like, honestly, I didn't want to do it because it definitely had the potential to turn into something better. So if he would have put some effort into actively trying to figure out like a potential use case, which is also a topic we covered in a couple of chats. But yeah, he decided to not do that. And then the first time I'm actually sharing what, in my opinion, what I showed you earlier on our public Discord, my, in quotes, temporary criticism that right now the project lacks a use case. What he did is throw a hissy fit, accuse me of shilling scam projects like High Dollar and Pi Network, which are both have, High Dollar has a partnership with MasterCard, is licensed, offers bank accounts with partnerships in Europe, and Pi Network, yeah, one can argue about that, but requires 0 investment and is used every day in hundreds of transactions by now for people to buy items with it. So there are people that accept it as payment and people that are willing to spend it. So there is supply and demand. None of that applies to Element Data. So there is no like proper imprint that tells you who is behind the project. There is no privacy policy on the website. The owner stays anonymous. The only person benefiting is the owner that so far made more than 100,000. That's not considering that he potentially, I doubt he did, but potentially he could have also sold some IEQ because he also used his Awair element definitely or fairly certain to earn IEQ. And obviously he holds the entire supply, so technically he could have made even more. I'm not going to say he did because, again, the only thing that we can prove is that he got $110,000 in USDC without any use case. Yeah, it sucks that it is that way. Personally, I cannot recommend anyone joining the project simply because of the way the founder behaves. Yeah, like how he deals with criticism, and not just that, but even within his own community, the fact that he has yet to share anything that would even give the project a remote chance to generate any use case or buy pressure for IEQ tokens. Yeah. Yes, early adopters benefited. I was able, as said, to cash out like, I don't know, $150 or so, when then suddenly this guy's video caused the price to skyrocket. Was lucky to get it right to sell a little bit above the $3 mark, so really close to the all-time high. Everyone else didn't do their research, sucks, but they could have figured out, hey, there is no use case. Do I really want to invest hundreds of dollars there? Yeah. And other than that, obviously, if you have an Awair element, the question is what you can do with that thing to still earn crypto. There, I would say, I'm not going to say you have to, but check out PiFi. I mean, they're in a similar boat. However, it's a bigger team. They have a longer history. They already basically, they have a better roadmap in terms of with a plan of what they want to accomplish. So not just sharing or collecting your data from one device from your Awair element, but collecting data from multiple air quality sensors, weather station, smart sockets, and other things to eventually offer a unified dashboard to manage your smart devices, with in the future planned an integration with Home Assistant and some other Google Home or something like that. Yeah. Check that out. I'm not saying that you should jump into it. If you want to jump into it, you can use my link and get a discount with the coupon code that's mentioned in the pinned message. But again, you do not have to jump into that because that is also, risky investment because we don't know if the project will succeed. I'm just saying if you are looking at element data and you're considering to invest, Check if there are any use cases by now, if the founder maybe explained what he did with the $110,000 that he collected from all the users. If he actually invested some of it back, because they claim transparency, and transparency for me from Element Data would consist of sharing how much was spent on salaries for development, how much is consistently spent for server and database hosting, how much does he pay himself, so how high are the salaries, what percentage and in what way gets invested back into the project as they claim prominently on the main page and so on. If all of that changes, then maybe it's worth it joining in the future, so for Element Data. But until none of that is the case, and I highly doubt it will be the case in the future, to be honest, considering the behavior of the main man, rather look at PyPhi and again, dive into the light paper, join the Discord, ask questions, and decide for yourself if you want to pay the, I think it's right now $50, but with my coupon code $45 license fee, it's a one-time fee to get the PyPhi license. You still need a secondary device similar to Element Data, like a Raspberry Pi or so. But again, make the decision yourself. I feel a little bit sorry for everybody that believed in the project. I honestly, as I said, initially I also thought, okay, more impressive what the main man did here to build that project. And I think he really had a chance to turn this into something, even if it would have required, I don't know, paying specialists to consult him on potential business plans, how to turn this into a viable business that creates buy pressure. And I think he squandered it and just got potentially, he doesn't care. Like, to quote him again, where do I have it? I mean, I don't look at it because I don't really care. Trade with IEQ in any, or / trade with IEQ in any way. Pretty happy with my USDC income. Yeah. So, and that's a direct quote from his Discord account. So when he still was friendly with me and not throwing hissy fits about me pointing out the facts. Anyway, that's already 30 minutes. I think we've covered everything. If I missed something, please share it in the comments down below. You can try to share this stream if you want to on the Element Data Discord server, but I'm fairly certain that it would get banned there in like a heartbeat, or you would get banned and the video would, or the post deleted. That's it. So switching back here. That's it for today. Also, don't forget, check out the community tab of the channel. There we will ask in the next couple of weeks again which projects you want to see next on Scam or Slam. As said, Scam or Slam is a once per month episode or series that happens on the first Wednesday of every month, where I'll take a look at a project that I haven't covered in the past and try to point out the positive things, the red flags, and come to a conclusion if it might be a good investment or not. Anyway, so as said, for the third time now, that's it. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, and see you all in another live stream, maybe in